This is the home of the Kenya Army Engineers, which I'm honored and privileged to that we hosted you here, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, sir, as envisaged by our Constitution, the primary role of the Kenya Army is to defend and protect the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the Republic of Kenya against land-based aggression, a role that our troops continue to relentlessly execute with pride. We also remain committed to our secondary role, which is to assist and cooperate with other national agencies in situations of emergency and disasters whenever called upon. In furtherance to this role, the Army also supports national development programs alongside the other sister services, as may be guided by Your Excellency through the Chief of the Defense Forces. In addition, the Kenya Army, as part of the Kenya Defense Forces, participates in international peace assignments in tandem with our country's commitment to peace within the region and beyond. Your Excellency, sir, the Kenya Army has been engaged in operations in theaters in Somalia, northeastern region of this country, and Boni Enclave for some time now. Naturally, our equipment have therefore been exposed to prolonged challenges of wear and tear, adverse weather conditions, and direct enemy action. The Chief of Defense Forces, in his initiative and wise guidance, has spearheaded a program not only for repair of the unserviceable equipment, which has created a big gap in our operations, but also spearheaded an ambitious acquisition of new capabilities to fill these gaps. Your Excellency, sir, the equipment displayed here today will greatly enhance the Army's overall effectiveness in discharging both primary and secondary roles. In particular, the troops carrying vehicles that you've just seen will ease the annual rotation of the many troops. To be precise, 17,000 troops rotate and deploy and redeploy from various operational theaters. The equipment of the Engineers Brigade will also enhance the improvement of securitized roads and development of a forward operating basis, besides assisting the Kenyan population. Your Excellency, sir, the provision of this equipment will also ensure that Kenya Army and Kenya Defense Forces at large matches its equipment capability with the global security trends, therefore guaranteeing security to our people. The equipment will no doubt also boost our capacity to respond to emergencies, support to other government agencies, and the national development programs, particularly in provision of water and support in both lateral and vertical constructions. This really resonates well with the Chief of Defense Forces' pursuit for a clear training directive and a robust welfare program, all aimed at sharpening the arrowhead in all areas of mission readiness. In conclusion, Your Excellency, I wish to reiterate Kenya Army's unwavering loyalty and commitment in the defense of our land and territorial integrity, as espoused by our motto, Ngao ya Taifa. Your Excellency, sir, with those few remarks, it is now my humble duty and honor to most respectively welcome the Chief of Defense Forces to make his remarks. and continue the program. The Chief of Defense Forces, sir.
Your Excellency, sir, we are very grateful for you being here today, and especially knowing very well that you have had a very busy schedule and you found time to be with us to inaugurate these very, very important capabilities to allow your soldiers to perform better in various operations. It is through your guidance, Your Excellency, that you have directed that we participate more in helping the areas that have been hit, either by lack of resources like water. And for that reason, we conceptualized the program of developing these capabilities to align with your vision and the Big Four agenda. We are very grateful, Your Excellency, that having contacted our local vehicle assemblers, the Toyota Kenya, Isuzu East Africa, and Mantrac, they were readily amenable to the suggestions that we partner together. One, in terms of procuring the vehicles. Secondly, in terms of developing these vehicles into military standards. And working together with the engineers from electrical and mechanical engineering corps, they have been able to give us vehicles that we are very comfortable, Your Excellency, will be able to deliver in the field. We are also very grateful, Your Excellency, that as we were preparing this particular buy, you authorized us to send a quick reaction force in support of the peace efforts in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And I am very pleased to announce to you, Your Excellency, that this team is ready, fully equipped with every equipment that they require. They have been trained, and I can assure you, Your Excellency, that this team will represent our country to the best standard. Allow me, Your Excellency, to therefore thank the Managing Director of Isuzu Kenya, the Managing Director of Toyota, and the Managing Director of Mantrac for agreeing to work with us as partners, partners that are looking at not just profits, but also looking at our national security. I would like to demand now from the commanders that, and the operators and drivers of these vehicles, that they take care of them. Because it is only by taking care of this equipment that we'll be able to derive maximum benefits. So it's important that all of us who will be responsible in one way or another with these capabilities, that you take care of them, because then you'll be able to hand them over from generation to generation. You've heard that the tank came in 1978. That is over 40 years. Most of you were not born. I had not joined the Defense Forces. And this tank will continue. And the only way it can continue is through proper care, proper equipment care. So I urge all of you that will be responsible here, that you take care of this equipment. Finally, Your Excellency, I would like to assure Your Excellency that the KDF is fully seized on its mandate and will continue to be seized on its mandate of protection of the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Kenya and providing defense and security to the Kenyan people. And that defense and security is in all areas that you will be directing us to undertake. With those remarks, Your Excellency, allow me to invite the Cabinet Secretary for Defense to make her remarks, and then invite Your Excellency to greet your soldiers and officers. CS, please.
Your Excellency, it is a great honor and privilege to have you in our midst this afternoon as we mark an important milestone in the history of the Kenya Defense Forces. This afternoon, you have unveiled operational vehicles and engineering equipment that aims to boost the capability of our troops in the conduct of their core mandate of defending the great nation against external aggression and other emerging threats. Your Excellency, as has been said by those that have spoken before me, the capacity of our defense force in the protection of the sovereignty of any nation lies in its personnel and equipment. A highly motivated soldier, coupled with the requisite tools of trade, will endeavor to complete the assigned mission irrespective of the operating environment. In this regard, sir, the Kenya Defense Forces, as one of the most disciplined human capital rooted in professionalism. However, they also have to deal with the wear and tear as well as enemy actions. And so the serviceability of our operational equipment must be sustained over time. The launch of this equipment today is a booster to our morale, but it is also significantly expanding our capability to combat the contemporary and future threats. For this, Excellency, I wish to personally thank you for your continued guidance and support to your troops. Your Excellency, MOD has partnered with the private sector, as you've heard, Toyota Kenya, Isuzu, Mantrac, and PRD rigs, in ensuring that the vehicles and engineering equipment that you have launched today is tailored to the operational needs of our troops and meet the highest military standards. Further, the cooperation with these local assemblies is responding to your directive of Buy Kenya, Build Kenya. I want, in this instance, to thank them all for this partnership with ourselves. Your Excellency, a well-equipped force forms a pivotal instrument in the development agenda of a nation. This has been exemplified by the involvement of the KDF across many sectors of this country. We have supported the Nairobi Metropolitan Service. We have rehabilitated the railway service in various parts of the country. We have revamped the Kenya Meat Commission, as well as the drenching of Lake Victoria, among other activities. This, Your Excellency, show the commitment of your security forces, not only in defending our nation against the traditional enemy, but also in support of your development agenda and your vision to better the delivery of service to our people. The equipment you have launched today forms a force multiplier in increasing our service delivery to the people of Kenya. As I conclude, Your Excellency, allow me to reiterate that these vehicles and engineering equipment shall play a critical role not only in defense of our nation, but in support of humanitarian civic activities. We continue to receive growing requests in this area, and I assure you that the capability of today will enable us to respond effectively and efficiently to these calls for service. I wish to assure you also that the ministry shall provide adequate maintenance support for this hardware in order that we can enhance mission readiness of our troops at all times as they endeavor to meet the aspiration and commitment that the government pledged to the people of Kenya. It is now my humble duty, Your Excellency, and honorable privilege to invite you, Your Excellency, to address these officers and service members of the Kenya Defense Forces, as well as other invited guests this afternoon. Your Excellency, sir.
Let me say how happy I am indeed to join you this afternoon on this occasion of launching this new equipment, because when I assumed office as the Commander-in-Chief of Kenya, we were leading a fight against terror, which we found both at home and abroad. And this was in line with KDF's solemn sworn duty, which is to protect the people of Kenya, to turn the tide and to enhance Kenya's capabilities against both symmetrical and asymmetrical threats. We embarked on a mission to reinvigorate the security sector generally and to retool it for better terrorism detection, prevention, and response. Over the last decade, we have made the most ambitious investments in the security sector that this republic has ever seen. We have implemented a number of innovative and complementary approaches that have scaled up our capability, capacities, and reach. These investments are bearing fruit in the present day, and I believe will continue to serve and secure Kenya for decades to come. However, cognizant of the fact that to sustain peace and stability, it takes more than just a gun. As part of our strategy to scale up the capacity of the defense forces, we incorporated a program to scale up its capacity to support civil as well as humanitarian interventions. In that regard, ladies and gentlemen, pleased, like I said, to be here at Thika Barracks, home of the Kenya Army Corps of Engineers, as we add yet another arrow to our nation's security quiver by commissioning the operational engineering vehicles, some of which are on display here today. The fleet that we commissioned today is the product of ingenuity as well as a high sense of civic duty. The team, on the one hand, that was tasked with the restoration exercise, has given life to what many thought was dead, bringing back into operation equipment that had otherwise been written off. Hongera sana kwenu nyinyi nyote. Pongezi sana. That exercise has saved the Kenyan taxpayer billions of shillings, and in the course of doing so, it has also significantly enhanced the KDF's operational capabilities, as well as its abilities to support civil and humanitarian activities across the country. The engineering vehicles and equipment on their part will enhance the military engineering corps in the development of water sources such as dams, water pans and boreholes, as well as the construction of roads, particularly in and around our semi-arid areas of our country. This is in keeping with what my government conceptualized of a military that not only guards our borders and secures our nation from external threats, but also delivers strategic national interests for the benefit of our citizenry. This feat has been made even more remarkable when one considers the context within which it has been delivered. Acquiring the new equipment that we have done enhances the capabilities and is without doubt timely. Kenya, like every other country in the world, is grappling with a severe pandemic that has negatively affected lives, health, livelihood, and security. This capacity that we have introduced today will go a long way undertaking the required civic and humanitarian interventions that we need to do. I must also say, I appreciate the partnership that has taken place also between KDF and the private sector in conceptualizing the procurement of the new vehicles and equipment. This is in the spirit of buying Kenya, building Kenya. Defense and security, after all, do not exist in isolation. A vibrant manufacturing base within the private sector provides the impetus for national self-reliance, and I commend the Ministry of Defense, the Kenya Defense Forces, and the private sector for supporting the manufacturing component of the Big Four agenda. To prolong the lifespan of these systems, I would therefore urge strict adherence to proper equipment use and care by the operators and technicians. And furthermore, I also continue to challenge you to embrace innovation and technical proficiency in order to spur Kenya's industries and develop homegrown solutions to our needs. I want to applaud the military engineers and technicians who, within the multi-agency framework, continue to prove themselves as efficient as well as reliable agents of change. Indeed, the KDF has assisted in the rehabilitation of key infrastructure, including the Nairobi-Nyanyuki railway line, the Nakuru-Kisumu railway line, the refurbishment of vehicles and equipment for Nairobi, part of the works of developing MV Uhuru and putting it back on its feet in Kisumu port, na mambo mengi sana ambayo mumefanya. Further, the Kenya Navy engineers continue to enhance the capabilities of maritime-related infrastructure and vessels. And in the coming days, we will be commissioning the shipyard both in Kisumu and ultimately in Mutongwe in Mombasa. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you are aware, Kenya is committed to regional and international peace as well as security. In this context, some of the equipment before us today will be used abroad in support of various United Nations and African Union peacekeeping missions, such as the ongoing engagement under the banner of AMISOM, and those amongst us who will be going very soon to the DRC. This underscores the need to ensure that the quality of our personnel and equipment are of the highest standard. To secure the gains you are making, I want to once again encourage a culture in the command structure where drivers of innovation are continually motivated. The results of such efforts will be manifest for decades to come. The choices that we make today will determine whether we have top-grade military capacity to defend the homeland and, where necessary, prosecute actions beyond our borders or wherever we will, and have a military that is capable of rising to the challenge. On our part, the civilian leaders of the administration, we will continue to provide support to the Kenya Defence Forces and indeed to all other security agencies towards the attainment of the highest level of preparedness and mission readiness. For peace and security are not preordained. It takes sharp minds and strong hands of men and women such as yourselves to ensure that a country remains safe. We must never become complacent and rest on our laurels. Threats to the peace and security that Kenyans enjoy every day. There is an enemy out there who plots and tries to devise new ways to do us harm. Let us all remain vigilant and ready for action at any time. In conclusion, I would once again, as I always do, like to re-emphasize the significance of the multi-agency approach towards achieving Kenya's national security objectives. The whole of government approach has demonstrated that pooling together allows us to achieve more through resource sharing and leveraging on each agency's strengths and competencies. And in the same vein, joint public-private partnerships have also contributed to our success. If all these are well harnessed and directed, these can provide cost-effective, innovative solutions to the problems that we face. So, ladies and gentlemen, today I believe the sun will set on a vastly different Kenya and a vastly improved KDF. I want to once again salute each and every one of you who has made this day possible, and I wish you all well in your duties, both within and outside our country. May God guide you and continue protecting you as you continue protecting the lives of your fellow citizens. Mungu awabariki nyote na walinde. Asanteni sana.